Hi there from Nick.
And hi from Martin.
And today we're going to talk about a property on 25 Normanby Street in Swinton. And so with that in mind, let's get straight into the condition stuff and go from there. So very first thing, it's a 1900s, I would have thought 1900s to 1915-ish building.
And they said between 30s and 50s.
Oh, is it really?
If it is, okay. If that's correct, that's amazing, I can say.
It's better. So that would make it let's say it's probably early 20s then.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And generally speaking, if it's a bit younger, that's probably a bit better. So the very first question is, does it have damp proofing done? And the answer is for, let's see, for 25, need to get us straight there.
It's the second house.
Oh, the second from the end, is it? This one?
No, yeah, no, the next one, sorry, third.
This one here?
Yeah. Yep, correct.
So what we're looking at is little black marks. I don't know, it might have damp proofing done. It's quite difficult to see. But what we're looking for is little holes there.
And the first property is have 21. You can see the white dots.
Yeah. So we assume it's been damp proofed. I would assume it probably has, but let's see if we can see more pictures and stuff later on. The reason this is important is because we don't want a damp house, but there's no sign, there are little marks down there. It's likely that there will be some damp issues. Now, I'm gonna just leaf through these because the real action is in the Viewer videos themselves, which I think are more detailed and more helpful. Got the old gutters out the back, gutter and bathroom waste. And there's quite a lot of something going on with the roofing, both on this side and the other side. So I suspect the roofs are going to need a bit of work, but I don't think it's significant enough to warrant a complete re-roof. I think it'll be okay. It just needs some repairs up there, I think. Let's have a look at the videos and the pictures and so on. The garden is reasonably well maintained. Now, the interesting thing about this, whenever you see a property which has a garden in it and somebody's got flowers and all of that, it means that they like to care and attend to things. And that's generally a good sign when it comes to thinking about the property. Now, this photograph doesn't really help, but they've tried to tidy this up. There might have been a leak up there, perhaps. Some grey. I don't know if that's damp or just age. And carpets. Okay, now let's just watch the videos. Oh, what am I doing? I need that. Let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, there's our damp proof, so we're good.
Yeah.
Do you see the little holes? Little holes? Good, yeah. Great. Okay, that's one issue out of the way. Nice brick quality, by the way. Nice build. We see quite a few of these kind of houses, and they're just generally a little bit better than absolute economy. You've got the nice stone lintels, good property size, good high ceilings. Overall, quite pleasant properties. And I suspect there were a lot more of these terraced houses in that area, and then they were demolished, or maybe it was fields, I don't know, but you'll see in a minute if we have a quick look. There's that roof. It looks okay, some slipped slates there, but it looks okay, actually. And it's consistent with the idea that the people who lived here, who live here, take care of here. And just zooming out a little bit just on context, really. So you've got this tract of terraced housing here, and this little patch. Now I don't know whether they're survivor houses or whatever.
No, you have a lot of terrace house around.
Yeah, so I don't know whether this lot here was just fields once upon a time, but we'll look into a little bit on that later. And going back to this, so we've got that video. Let's have a look inside now. Carpets need redoing. It's like they put money into certain things, so certain reasonable things. The big question with this property is, were the big things taken care of? The plaster, like when it was first built, did it subsequently get a big renovation? My guess is it probably did at some point in the 70s or probably 70s. There was a lot of this, you know, in the 70s. I think survivor houses very often had big renovations or they were demolished. And I'm just looking at the skirting and the carpet. And let's just mute that. It needs thorough painting and decorating. I don't think there are any serious issues in here.
Yep.
Original doors in some spots, and the doors are actually 1930s style. So that kind of 1920s, late 20s, I would have said. So this would have been one of the last of this style of property, I would have said. Also, let's go back. Very important telltale sign.
Yeah, it's nice.
Martin knows by now, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at that socket.
Yeah, and it's high enough, so.
That's good news. Martin, by the way, is a qualified surveyor. I'm not a qualified surveyor. I'm just qualified because I had a couple of building companies in the way back in the day, and
yeah, and the bathroom looks nice, which is great.
Modernized. And there's so I suspect the boiler is decent.
Yeah, better to be in the bathroom than in the bedroom. So.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how it works with building regs though, having electricity and hot water or water so close together, but that's a nice nice shower enclosure. It's interesting how they kind of selectively spent their money, like they didn't bother getting decent carpets, but they got a fancy bathroom. Okay, that's all looking okay. It seems to me this is a house that had a big renovation in the 70s and hasn't really had anything, well, has had bits and pieces since. So double glazing throughout UPVC or UPVC, cheap laminate flooring.
Maybe it needs replacing.
I would be inclined to. I think the area demands it. But the good news is that a lot of the essentials are there.
Or you can put carpets on the top only.
Yeah.
I think that's also reasonable.
This is pretty much a wasted room, by the way. Like, why would you have a dining room in there? I'd just make it a living room.
Yeah, and the dining room should be here next to the kitchen.
And this is a family room then. Kitchen is a bit lacking, let's say.
Yeah, but overall the property is nice.
Yeah, and it has had a full renovation. The telltale sign is, as ever, if there's no coving or it's got modern coving, then the ceiling is being removed, because houses of this quality and this type always had coving, and Victorian or older coving is this particular style, and it doesn't seem to have that. So that's good. We're dwelling a little bit on condition because, well, you know, condition's important, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Very basic kitchen.
I think it needs some cabinets to add, maybe.
I think it needs a new kitchen minimum. If it was an economy renter for 90 grand, you might say, well, let's just leave it. But this is a classic 1980s kitchen, by the way. You can tell because of the style and the fixings and
But maybe it can. It doesn't demand that much modern kitchen, but
or at least change the doors. You could get away with changing the doors because the carcasses are probably usable. It's just it's not very well laid out. It's not for family living, or at least it's a bit difficult, really. It's just not an optimal design. Does it have damp proofing down there? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, it does. Look at the little round dots. Great. Yeah. So the fundamentals are taken care of. The
glass, the window needs to be changed on the.
Oh, where is it blown? Which one?
Yeah, here on the top, not on the second, on the first floor.
Oh, I see.
Or it's light.
That's an opaque glass because it's the bathroom. That's the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the glazing's good throughout, therefore.
The bricks looks okay. Wow, nice storage room.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that roof, whether it's some sort of concrete roof or something. That was the old lavatory, by the way. They were designed so that the lavatories are outside in an outhouse. And that's what that is. That's a concrete roof with some sort of waterproofing on top of it.
Yeah, and
I think it's concrete. I'm not sure. Yeah. It looks it. Okay. Fine.
The garden is good. Not large, but it's in enough good size.
Martin, are you able to dig out some pictures of houses along the road or in this area that have been modernized whilst I'm doing all my stuff? The reason I'm curious is because I just think it's not very well laid out, and I think one can do better than that. So they like it. The viewer person likes it, gives it high scores, says condition not great. To me, this is a paint and decorator. So let's get the old paint and decorator-ometer out and just see what that would be. It's quite a good exercise to do this. So this is our calculator, and we've built this. It's going to need a complete redecoration, but it's only a little terraced.
New kitchen.
Yeah, so we'll just go 2-bedroom terraced house. Kitchen is basic though, so we're going to say it's a small kitchen.
Small but basic.
Basic, and that's about right, actually. Yeah, and bathroom no. And then we've got
flooring.
Yeah, so we don't need any windows or anything like that. We don't need a boiler. Nor do we need, well, did we see the fuse board? I didn't see that. They missed the fuse board, but odds are it should be okay because I think that wiring is relatively modern.
Yeah.
And let's say new carpets throughout, and ignore this. I should do this. I'll just hide this for now.
Yep.
Otherwise it just confuses people. Okay, and flooring, I think it needs flooring, and I think it needs carpets throughout. So that's that. And
but
landscaping.
This is the worst scenario. Like maybe you don't have to, but
I would say if you include VAT, which these figures are inclusive, they're all designed to be inclusive VAT. That's about right. It would be a £12,000 renovation, probably.
Yeah. Maybe I think maybe you can do it if you don't change the kitchen and try economy as you can. Then it will be around 7-8K.
Yeah, but the question now is, does the area demand a nice renovation? And just while I'm doing all this, can you dig out some comparable examples? Just let me know when you've done it and we'll flip over to that. Okay, so demographics are quite good. Quite a lot of ABs actually, so it's kind of an upmarket neighborhood, which is interesting. Quite close to the cemetery, but not on the cemetery, so no spook issues there. And crime, very quiet actually, so this is good. It's got really good growth over the last few years, which is also interesting. And So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of telling you what I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm doing a kind of Mystic Meg, and I'm just telling you what, rather than trying to explain it all, because it takes a long time. But if you look at some of the older videos, you can see where I go into more explanatory stuff. This area was resilient in the last crash, by the way, which is good, and has seen huge growth since 2013. It kind of got, yeah, and it's actually well above the 2007 numbers in real terms. So in other words, last property peak was X, it's 11% above that if you factor in inflation, which is very important to do. And if we look at, yeah, so overall, I would say that this is a strong one. Now, good simple indicator is if it's kind of brown, generally brown, that's good. It was good in the day, it was good now, it's just good.
It's really
and
nice,
this
right?
whole area is good. And this is good. So you have a nice mixture of really robust short and long-term growth, really nice demographics around here, lots of schools, probably nice schools. One thing I wanted to just double check, the churn, property churn and average age. Not that much property coming up around here. So you've got that combo of like high demand, not so much property. That's good. And just on the demographics.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's very kind of Englishy, a little bit mixed, which is, no, it's just a very Englishy age, but it's an older area. So it's got older families and so on.
Yeah, because it's included those, also the semi-detached house.
Yeah, so I'll go to you now. I like it. I think from a growth point of view, this whole band is really interesting. It's very strong around here because of its location.
Yeah, so
it's a mixture of value and, by the way, rental demand is huge. Sales turnover not so huge, but so what's going on here is you've got high demand, low availability, and that equals very strong growth and probably strong, again, resilient in a crash as well, property crash.
So first I will go for the layouts for other properties.
Oh yeah, what's the sales history on this place? I forgot to look.
I will tell you now.
Good walk score, by the way.
It's
very central.
Yeah, on 200.
All right, so it hasn't been sold for a long time. Great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of consistent with the theme that they did a lot of renovating when they moved into the house first time round, and then they periodically did bits and pieces around.
You can see that basically what they did.
This is our property though, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, the laundry room they made it part of the kitchen, so that's why the kitchen are longer. So maybe this is a part what you can do as well, and I will want to do it because you can see the kitchen then looks much.
So this is another property. So can we have a look at the floor plan just to get context?
Yeah, basically the kitchen is larger. That's what. And they don't have the lunchroom. So
yeah, that's probably the way to do it.
Yeah, and then the rent will be 875.
And by the way, what are they doing with the back room beside the kitchen? So is that how they're doing? They're knocking it through and making it one long room. You see, that's a much better layout.
Yeah, and the kitchen will be large. So that's a way what you can do as well. And that's about the condition, about what you can do, and that will cost you maybe 4,000 more maximum, I think. It's 2 meters square.
To extend, yeah. But then if you're knocking things down, you've got a bit of building regs action as well. So if you're going to break through into the other room, but I think the way you do it is you avoid the structural. You keep the front room as a front living room. You have the rear room as a dining room, and then you extend the kitchen out, and then you should be okay.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
So
the location is very nice. It's a little bit close to the cemetery, but not really. And we did analyze for some on Battery Street, and the asking price 180, and it was similar condition, maybe a little bit better. So I think this is a little bit I think we sent offer 185 and it was rejected, and it was sell for more. So I just want to tell you how much higher can go this property in the price.
Well, yeah, so this is going to be a bidding war then, I suppose.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure. We never do until we actually get telephoning.
Basically, you have like a 2 train station. You're in the middle. You can choose which one you want, and it's really fast to go to Manchester. It's like 16 minutes.
Can we just do the public transport thing? I'm curious. Also, even though it's near a railway, you've got loads of houses between the railway and the house, so therefore you don't have issues.
23 minutes.
Wow. No wonder it's popular. You see, this is the thing. It's great location.
Yeah, and also you can see you have a lot of shopping. It's like a shopping center here and gas station as well. You have on this side as well. You have like you have a lot of schools, green space. So basically the location and easy access to the highway. So this property is have amazing location. That's my. And about the risks, very low risk on surface water and river and the sea. Yep, and I wanted to tell you about the mining.
Oh, and by the way, no issues with parking.
Yeah.
On our properties.
So basically, it have here on this street between the Troper Avenue and the Cemetery Road, it have one coal mining entrance, but it's much far away, so this property is not affected of that. It will not have any risk. It need to be more than 20 meters, and it is. The coal mining entrance is somewhere here around in the corner of the street. So, yep, and that's it. So about the location, is amazing location. And comparables, as you can see, this is the property what I was talking. And you can see 150, 180, 165, 180, the asking price 150, 160, 160, 125 with this auction, 150, 165, 170. So, but this 2021, so this is not really a comparable. So you can see that there is not a lot of property coming on the market and people get in war with the property and bidding. Rental, if you make it like large kitchen, nice kitchen, it will be 875. And if you keep it smaller, it will be 850, 825, I think so.
Well, let's do, so we can do some calculations, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so no flood risk, anything like that? It's okay on that front?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yep. So let's just do the rest of this. And okay, here we go. We said for the renovation, so it's 160, but let's call it 180 because I think.
No, I think 175. Let's go.
And we say for the renovation 12. I think it was 12,000.
But let's put 15 because you need to do the kitchen if you want to have better rent.
Yeah, I think if you do if you really go for it and do a proper extension, new kitchen, all of that, I think you'd have to assume £20,000 just to be safe.
875.
Yeah, it's kind of tight. So let's just go £12,000. So you don't redo the kitchen properly. 5.6.
But you will not rent for 875.
What will it take it down to?
825.
Yeah, so again, one way or the other, you're kind of.
But yeah. So I will do the kitchen. But maybe not. But maybe you can take it for lower, but I'm not sure.
So it's an extension. So you've got to do the extension and all of that. So let's just say 18,000, which gets you possibly, which knocks the wall through, and gives you a nice big room on the ground floor, plus the extended kitchen, plus you've got to do the kitchen. You know what? I'm going to go for 22,000 on this, and then
875.
And then,
but you don't need to remove the wall. The people, what they did, they just you don't have to. Only one. Or
Yeah.
maybe you can.
I think the issue with this property is it's going to possibly get bid up, possibly, because there are very few compromises with this property. But anyway, let's do that in the summary. Condition, actually, it's not too bad. I'm going to say 3 point. If you just like want to do basics and don't really want to optimize it, 3.75, it's all right. The fundamentals are there. Location,
4.7. It's like amazing.
area,
It's really good. 4.2, I think.
crime, very oddly very quiet there. Demographic is really good. Capital growth is really good.
Yeah.
But it's the right, but the yield.
3.5.
Yeah. All right, so it averages out. I think in summary with this one, I think, yeah, it doesn't make a great renter, but it makes for a very safe investment because of the characteristics of this area. It will always be desirable to people, to the middle classes. It's just going to be a nice, safe area. So you have risk. From a risk point of view, you got high-ish risk because it's quite a lot of renovation to do. But once you get over that bump, you then have low risk because you will always get premium tenants for this place.
Yeah.
And you will, so yeah, it gets a decent score, or like a kind of slightly above average score, actually. So let me just double check on this. So out of 100, it gets 57. So it's just average, slightly above average, but it's let down with the yield. I think that's the thing. So overall, interesting deal.
But I think you will always have nice tenants.
And what do you think it's worth offering on? So if it's on the market for 160, assuming it's priced low to get the interest.
Anyway, you cannot bid more than 175 because the yield will really be poor. So. But if you want to accept lower yield than 5.3, you can bid more.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's.
But I think it will sell for 180.
Yeah, I think a homeowner will fall in love with this place and they'll push the price on it. Yeah, I agree.
But it's not me who decides how much it will be. I mean, it's not us. It depends. We don't know what kind of people are looking now on the bidding.
Exactly.
And I want to.
The renovation cost will put a lot of buyers off, by the way.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at is whether the area is good enough to attract higher income earners, wealthier people. And if it is, they'll go and work through, they'll do the renovation themselves. So don't know yet. We'll find out when the bidding starts if you want to offer. Okay, Martin, anything final from you?
I love the location. This is like one of the best locations in Manchester. So it's your decision at the end. So
let us know what you want to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.